For 29 years, he hid in the jungle and kept killing, for a war that had ended decades ago. But the strangest part isn't why he kept fighting. They tried everything to bring him home, dropped newspapers, sent search parties, played his own brother's voice through the trees. He was certain every bit of it was an enemy trick.
December 1944. A young intelligence officer named Hiroo Onoda was sent to a tiny island in the Philippines and handed an order that would swallow the rest of his life.
Never surrender. Never take your own life. Hold the island, however many years it takes. To Onoda, an order was sacred, so he obeyed it for the next 29.
When the Allies retook the island months later, Onoda and 3 other soldiers retreated deep into the mountainous jungle, disappearing into the shadows.
In late 1945, the war ended. The leaflets dropped by planes said the Empire had surrendered. But Onoda looked at the ink and saw only a trap.
To him, the leaflets were Allied propaganda. The ink was a lie.
Years bled into decades. One by one, the others surrendered or died, until Onoda was utterly alone in his private green purgatory. And still he did not stop.
He raided farms and shot the villagers he was sure were enemy scouts, nearly 30 of them across the years. To him, it was never murder, it was war.
Police hunted him for decades and never caught him. He kept his rifle spotless, waiting for an attack that would never come.
By now, the soldier in the jungle had faded into rumor, a ghost story. Until 1974, when an eccentric young drifter named Norio Suzuki went hunting for 3 legends: a panda, the Yeti, and Lieutenant Onoda.
Against all odds, Suzuki found him. He tried to convince the stubborn soldier that the Emperor had surrendered decades ago.
But Onoda refused to surrender. He said he would only lay down his arms if his original commanding officer ordered him to do so.
So, Suzuki traveled back to Japan and tracked down Major Taniguchi, who was now an old man quietly selling books.
On March 9, 1974, Major Taniguchi flew back to the Philippine jungle. Wearing his old military uniform, he read the official surrender orders out loud. To a ghost of the past.
Onoda wept. 30 years. Surrendered to an order buried so deep it had become the only reality he could see, and he had guarded it perfectly.
He surrendered his sword to the Philippine president, who pardoned him for the 30 people he had killed, for a war that existed only in his mind.
He returned to Japan a hero, but he found a country he didn't recognize, a modern world that had moved on, leaving him behind.
In his memoirs, he wrote that he never regretted his choices. The ink was already dry on his fate, and he chose to believe his war was real. So was it loyalty that kept him fighting? Or was the truth that he had given his whole life to a war that ended without him simply too much to face? Loyalty, or a lie he could not stop telling himself. As for me, I once refused a truth I could not bear and wrote a different one in its place. I'll show you what that cost me next time.